Hey, welcome to the Chatting with Dr. Stevil show, and I am your host, Dr. Stevil. Today's guest is a staple in the Windsor cosplay community and has just turned her passion into a successful business, which just celebrated its sixth anniversary yesterday. Welcome to the show, Sylvia Ward, and happy birthday or happy anniversary. How does that work for a business?
I don't know. Usually we just do happy birthday, but
Happy
usually
birthday.
like our whole plan was to host a big huge superhero bash actually today. And because of everything that happened, we didn't get to do that. So hopefully next year we'll get to do that.
Oh, yeah, hopefully. I mean, it'll be like a seventh year. Yeah, sure, why not? Six is not bad. But
Well, we did it a
what's
few years ago and we had like a big birthday cake. It said happy birthday Enchanted Adventure Parties or EA parties and we sang happy birthday and we all got to have cake. It was wonderful.
Oh, cool. So, EA, Enchanted, what does it stand for again?
EA parties stands for Enchanted Adventure Parties.
Adventure. Okay, gotcha. Bad memory. Enchanted Adventure. Cool. I was going to ask you about that. That was one of the first things. That's amazing. How long have you been doing this? Well, 6 years, right? But
Yeah, 6 years.
what gave you the idea to start? Because I've known you for a long time, but I never knew you really had a business. I just thought you showed up like with all your friends, like coordinated some cool events all the time.
Well, I do love to coordinate events and it's so much fun. I've actually met up with people over the years who've been to my events and they'll be like, that was so awesome. I'm telling you, it was just awesome. My son loved it and it was the perfect thing to do with him before I had my second child. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, it does seem that way because I just do it for fun because I love it so much. And basically, it all started with the first Christmas Comic Con here in Windsor, and it was at
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Windsor
remember that.
Howard there. And I went there dressed as Princess Leia because she's one of my favorites, and I kicked it up a notch. My daughter was not even one yet, and we threw her in a Build-A-Bear Workshop Jedi costume, and we added a little cape. So Princess Leia was walking around with a little baby Jedi, and everyone thought it was really super cool. And when Mike said that we were going to have another one, I thought to myself, well, my kids really love Frozen, like really love Frozen. Even before I started, Let It Go was my youngest little boy's bedtime song. And he would not settle until he heard that song. And so a few months later, I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy Elsa for the next Christmas Comic Con. I'm going to do Elsa. Danica's going to be Anna. And then I'll do like a Christmassy version of Olaf for my youngest, Devin. And then I thought to myself,
We
once the
got a hello
rest of my,
from across the pond.
yeah. And hello. And I thought to myself, you know what? Why not do birthday parties? I love working with children. I have three of my own. Well, one's not really a kid anymore. He's going to be 16. But
Oh,
but I love working with kids. I work as an educational assistant with one of our local school boards, and I love working with children. It's so much fun.
yeah. That
So I
being
thought,
said,
why
when
not start?
I saw you in Chatham, some kids come up and go, "Oh my God, that's the cosplay teacher." So like,
Yeah,
wow. So you're
absolutely.
young.
And the students really love it too at any of the schools I'm at. Any theme day, I go right to town. Staff know who to email. I need stuff. Okay, I'll bring it. So it's kind of my thing. I was at Essex Public School a few years ago and they borrowed a whole bunch of stuff for their Snow White show that they were doing. So I brought in a whole bunch of stuff for them. They borrowed Snow White. They borrowed like a evil sorcerer cloak thing. They borrowed a few peasant shirts. They borrowed a whole bunch of different stuff. So it was
Wow.
really good that I was able to help them with that, and it brought the cost down for that play. So it was wonderful to be able to help out my school like that. But back to the story, I kind of went off topic there. But on March 22nd was when I received my first Elsa dress, and I posted on Kijiji that I was going to start doing birthday parties. Within 2 days, I had a first booking for June 1st, 2014, and a booking for February 2015. And then it just kind of exploded from there. And by the end of the summer, I had Anna, Elsa, Belle, Jasmine, Cinderella, and then I had like Ninja Turtle suits and Power Ranger suits and all that type of stuff. So we like just branched out. But that was just because we actually had a mom hire us. And she said, I'll buy the costumes you need
Right.
and you can keep them. So that's why my characters just kind of went boom. Because this mom purchased a Cinderella, a Belle. Well, no, it's Cinderella. We already had Cinderella, but she purchased Belle. She purchased Jasmine. She purchased a Ninja Turtle suit. She purchased another Ninja Turtle suit. She purchased 2 Power Ranger costumes. So that's why within a short period of time we had tons of characters available. And then after a few months after that, I started upgrading and altering and changing costumes to improve them.
Well, do you do this by yourself, or do you have a lot of your friends with you?
I have a few friends that like to help out, like Reggae Cosplay will help me out if I need somebody. We actually have one mom reschedule her party to the end of June, and she has
Of
4
course.
princesses booked. So Ray Gray is going to help me, and I have 2 other girls helping me out. So it's going to be fun with the 4 of us.
Oh,
It's going to be a
sweet.
very interesting car ride with 3 to 4 girls all in hoop skirts. Thank goodness I have a van.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it's lots of fun, and I meet so many amazing people like you, and it's just great to meet tons of amazing cosplayers, and I'm always learning. When I made my Warrior Elsa cosplay, that was a learning experience for me. It was the first time working with Worbla and EVA foam and creating something for me myself to wear, and I'm still actually redoing that to improve it and make it even better than my first one. So that's something that I'm working on right now, on top of a few
You
other
make
things.
a lot of your costumes, or you buy, or half and
Well,
half.
I buy them and I improve on them. So this is an
Okay.
example. The outfit I'm wearing today, this took about 72 hours of work. And it was a very plain Jane costume. I sewed the belt, added all the jewels, added all the glitter fabric, everything I did. And even the cape, I have the cape here on the ground. I added all the jewels to the cape. So there's a whole bunch of jewels on the cape.
Wow.
So, and I'm not done yet. There's still more I want to do on the bottom of this skirt. So there's a lot more to do. And it only cost me about $100 American. And
That's
I
like
got the
1,000
and
Canadian, right?
amped it up. Well, yeah, I think it was Canadian because it was $79.99 for the dress. So after, exchange and stuff like that, it was probably about 100. But for me to improve it and add to it, I might have spent $50.
It's pretty cool.
The wig is the part that needs to be the best, though. I spent a little bit more on this.
All right, cool. We got about 5 people watching on the Stevil show. We got a few on the other chatting.
Hi,
But
everyone.
if you guys want to make any comments and say hello, tune into the Chatting with Dr. Stevil page, and then you're allowed to comment, or I'll be able to see it. If you do it on the Stevil page, I won't be able to see you guys. So this way they could say hi. Like our buddy Jamie from across the pond says hello.
Hello, Jamie. Bruni says hi.
Lucas, hey from Lucas. Yeah, when I first met you, you were like lying on the floor with like a fish tail, and I was like making fun of you with holding your little fish away.
Yep, yep. And that's when I met. Oh, which gentleman did I meet? Um. Oh my gosh.
Dr. Evil?
I met you, but there was one of the guests that were there that my husband really, really liked him. Him and his friend used to do like a reality show or something like that.
Oh,
He's from
Spenny and was it reality show? The only one I can think of is Kenny and Spenny.
Yes. So I met one of those guys, and it was kind of funny because when he came in early, I was like in the middle of setting up. Because whenever I set up anything, it was just me.
Right.
So all my staff would come just before the event started, and it would be me in and out, bringing everything in and stuff. And as I'm walking through his area I had fish scale leggings on so that I can move around and stuff. And he comes through, and I'm like, oh, here, let me get the door for you. And he goes, ooh, hi. And then I made sure I went to see him afterwards because I had a party to run out to as the mermaid. And I went over to say hello to him and stuff before I left and got a picture and everything for my husband. My husband was super excited. And he was like, "You have a husband? No way. You're lying to me." I'm like, "No, I'm not." But he was really super sweet. So it was really fun to meet him. And I kind of really surprised him when he first walked into the building because I was already all makeup and wig and everything. So it's kind of funny because there's been several times where I've been the mermaid princess Ariel, and as I said, I always walk around with just my fish scale leggings on first. And there was an event we did a few years back, and I was going to grab a few things because we had a few volunteers for the event that were boring costumes. All of a sudden, we noticed people are showing up, and I'm not back downstairs. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh no, uh, I don't even have my tail on. My tail's downstairs in the room. Someone needs to grab my tail. So one of my girls, her dad was there, and he ran downstairs for me, kind of discreetly as he could, brought my tail to me. And I slide my tail on, and I'm like, how are we going to get me downstairs? And then I guess there was also a basketball team at the hotel at the same time. So they were like coming through, and they're like walking through the stair door, and they're like, hey, that's cool, or like, that's sick. And I'm like, hi. Wearing a shell bra and a mermaid tail, just laying on the ground. So finally the dad comes around with a luggage cart, and that's how they were able to get me downstairs. And then I basically stayed in that on the luggage cart for the entire event.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it was really, really funny. Oh, thank you. It's
Oh,
a lace
thanks.
front, so lace fronts look more realistic. I actually have it glued to my scalp, like my hairline, to keep it in place, and that's why it looks like it's my own hair.
Glue, like, what, crazy glue or something? What?
I You're gonna laugh at me. I actually use stick glue, like the stick glue you use for crafts. I
Right, the
find
one I used to
ours
eat.
works the best. Yeah, and it washes off so easily from the lace, and that's part of the reason why I like to use it. Some people like to use eyelash glue. There's also wig tape, or you could use spirit gum, but I like the stick glue because at least that way it washes off. Like I washed a bunch of the glue off because I wore this yesterday, and this way it keeps the lace clean and it can easily come off, and that's what I like. It's kind of creepy when I take the wig off and I have all this extra like cover up and stuff, and then I start peeling it off. It looks like I'm like peeling layers of skin off my face. But it always works out really great with the stick glue.
Lori says that's a cool trick.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I would try it one time.
Okay,
I
now,
got my first official lace front wig last year, so it was kind of like trial and error, try to figuring out how to make sure the hairline looked good and how to put it on my body. And I thought, you know what? I know people use stick glue to cover their eyebrows. Let's try on lace front wigs.
how does that affect your real hair? Is that like, is your hair put up inside of a
I
net
have
or
a wig
something?
cap. So for Elsa,
Good
I
cat.
typically use the lightest nude wig cap I own. I need to get another one, but I don't even know where I got this light color. I think I must have got it with a wig, because sometimes when I purchase wigs, it comes with a wig cap, and you don't always get nude. I typically tend to get black when I get wigs, but I only have 2 wig caps that are nude, but this one's my lightest color so that you can't see my hair underneath, because my hair is quite dark underneath. So I put the
Yeah.
wig cap on. I use some hairspray to make sure all my extra little hairs are pulled back. But I also used Got to Be hairspray underneath my wig too, on top of the glue, to try to make it a little bit more tackier to keep it more in place. But it's all trial and error when you're wearing a lace front. So basically, when you get it, you have to trim the lace and then you put it on, and you need to see, okay, I think I need to get rid of some more. I might need to straighten it up a little bit. And yes, sometimes you might cut a little bit of the hair, but that's super okay. Just don't overdo it.
Um, yeah, first few times I met you, I didn't recognize you because you always had different wigs, different characters. It was until I got used to your face and I got embarrassed after you told me you've met me a few times because your character morphs all the time. Like, how many characters do you do?
um, I do just about every single princess, including Princess Anna. So I do both sides of the coin for those snow sisters. Ariel, and I have like a bunch of different outfits for Ariel. So I have her like a swimmable tail that I go in the water with. I have a
Ooh,
walking tail. I have her teal dress, and I was going to sell it, but then I gave up and said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I have her pink dinner dress, and I bought a whole bunch of extra stuff that I'm planning to add to it. So I have like a lace design for the front that I'm going to attach, and I have a bunch of pearls and stuff that I want to attach in different areas. So I'll be working on that next. I've kind of put my Warrior Elsa on the back burner.
Warrior Elsa.
But
Well, she got a
I do
sword.
like
She like stabs
everything.
people.
Yeah. So I do like everything. I do superheroes. I like Wonder Woman and Batgirl are my favorites. Wonder Woman, I've actually created a Canadian Wonder Woman, and I've spent a lot of money on that. I recently upgraded it. So I purchased a brand new corset, and it probably cost me about $500 Canadian because it was $350 American. But I wanted to have a really, really good one because the first one I created, I did everything myself except for the cape. I
Well, how
made
do
the
you
tiara, I did the corset, I had a friend help me with the skirt, and that whole outfit was my design, one of a kind. Um, it took quite a bit of dealing with because I commissioned the cape to be done very similar to Linda Carter. So it's got white and red with white and red maple leaves alternating on the white and red. And I ordered it from someone, and oh my God, it was oh my God. She charged me $350 for this, okay? American. I get one that she sends me, and it's shit. I bring it to a few seamstresses I know, and they say to me, I wouldn't even have charged you that much. I might have charged you $100 for this. She's like, I'm appalled by this. And I feel really bad for you. So I'm like, okay, since you're saying that, I'm going to talk to Etsy and I'm going to get something done. So I got all my money refunded, which meant I could buy a new Elsa dress. And yeah, because I won't touch Elsa with a 10-foot pole because I don't want to ruin that because it needs to be perfect. Other than this one, I thought, why not? But eventually she did send me another one. And even then, it's really poorly made. As soon as I pulled it out, the tie in the front was already coming undone. And there's different things. Yes, she did 2 layers, but she didn't attach the 2 layers, and one of the capes is longer than the other. So it was so frustrating, but at least I didn't have to pay for the second one, and I didn't have to pay for the first one. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on that outfit. Technically I didn't. If I was looking at the actual cost of everything, including the cape and stuff, I spent probably $1,000 on that outfit because my wig was
Oh,
also because my wig I purchased from Amazon, it's a lace front, and that was $80 to make sure it looked really good for Wonder Woman. My dad helped me with making actual aluminum gauntlets, so my gauntlets are actually real. So sometimes you might see me with some duct tape on it because I don't want any kids trying it on getting cut. Like that's my biggest fear. Like I know it won't cut them because I wear it and I don't get cut, but I just don't want it to happen. Well, I
you're
hope
kidding.
she had fun at her Frozen party.
Yeah. So what's a frozen party?
Well, it's you hire me and I come and hang out and we do different activities. We sing, we read stories. Like actually, before I spoke with you, I had a video chat and I read a really cute book
Okay.
and I sang one of the kids' favorite songs. We sang Into the Unknown together. Well, the mom sang Into the Unknown.
Now you've
The
got a
kids
beautiful
didn't want
singing
to
voice,
sing.
so you're perfect for this.
Oh, I love it. And actually, singing runs in my family. So when I was growing up, my grandmother was part of the church choir at the church I went to when I was little. And so was my mom, and so was my grandpa. So it all kind of runs in my family. My grandfather was even part of the Barber Shoppers. My mom was part of the Sweet Adelines, which is a local group to Windsor area. And yeah, so singing's just kind of my thing. When I first started, though, it took me 3 months to get my voice to where it needed to be to sing the high notes of Let It Go, because
Right?
I hadn't sang as much as I used to, because I was in choirs and did competition and stuff through high school, and then I did a little bit of competition after high school, but it had been so long since like I did any
Can you give
training
us
at all, so it
a
took
little
forever to
sample?
get my voice.
Can you give us a little sample? Not a whole song, but just a little bit.
Oh, I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day. Ignore your whispers that I wish would go away.
Wow.
Oh, oh. And I sing
Wow.
differently to the princesses.
So the children are definitely getting their money's worth because you can also
Mm-hmm.
sing.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
and
back
all
in
events that we're at, if they say if they're a little leery if I'm real or not, as soon as I start singing, they're like, "Oh my God, you're real."
yeah, like over in Windsor Comic Con, I was judging a costume contest and things weren't going so well. So I tried to pull people out of the audience. And one guy, threw his little child up there, said, "Oh, she can sing as Elsa." And when she got up there, she froze. And then you came up to save the day. And your voice, it just kind of like brought, shivers to me. It's like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And way to go on the
And I was
save.
Canadian Wonder Woman that time too. It was perfect, and there's lots of pictures of that. Sergio got some pictures of that too, which was wonderful. And she was so nervous. Oh my goodness, she
Yeah.
was. She was like, "Why do I have to come up here? I don't want to be here right now."
And dad's sitting there going, yeah, she can sing. Sure, go ahead.
We actually do that a lot over the summer. We have a lot of partnerships with local festivals, and we do a lot of sing-alongs. So we usually do one for the Essex Fun Fest. We do one for a family fun event in Colchester, and I'm not sure if we're still doing it. Like they're still saying the event's on, but we're supposed to do a sing-along for the Leamington Rib Fest in July, and then a sorting hat ceremony with our Harry Potter themed characters, so a professor and a student, and our sorting hat. I actually found the coolest little download of the sorting hat talking about sorting houses and what each house is all about. It's the coolest thing I could have ever found, and we used it for a party, and the kids thought it was so awesome because we're standing there. We walked in and we started talking and stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh dear, I think the sorting hat would like to say something. And everyone just quieted right down. And then the sorting hat started speaking, and the kids thought it was the best thing ever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you talk about reading stories. You do that online, correct?
Yes, I've been doing that 2 to 3 times a week, depending. This week we did story time with Catwoman, and we did, what did I do on Tuesday? Can't remember which character I was on Tuesday. But tonight we have Alice from Alice in Wonderland reading 2 chapters of her story, and we've been doing that probably for maybe 3 to 4 weeks now to finish off the story. And then after that, I'm thinking about maybe doing Dorothy from Wizard of Oz and having her read chapters of her story. Not sure yet. We might just go back to doing bedtime stories. We had Supergirl do a bedtime story, and it was all bedtime themed. Her book, it was really cool. And before that we had Wonder Woman do a bedtime story on Saturday evenings. We thought that would be fun. But we've done tons of things. We've done making
Where do
slime
people find it?
with your scientist friend and a minion. We had our miraculous ladybug doing a superhero mask last week. Um, I'm trying to remember what I did Tuesday for our live feed.
Is it Alice?
No, I can't remember.
Where do they see your live feeds? Is that AEParties?
Yes. Maybe it was Tea Party with Cinderella, because I know I've done that too. We've just done so many live feeds. We've been doing them probably since March break. And the first one we did was our Ariel, the Little Mermaid. And we set up a really beautiful backdrop. It was an under the sea backdrop. And she read a story and sang some songs and answered questions. And then we've done baking. We baked an apple pie with Snow White. We've had a tea party with Cinderella. It's been lots of fun. You should watch the one with the minion and the scientist making slime with Play-Doh.
That would be cool. I really want to see them. I'll bring my fart gun and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Actually, my daughter wanted to wear the minion suit, so she wore it while we were doing the video. And some of the parents of the students that I've worked with at some of my schools actually follow and like my page. So on that video, particularly, one of the parents are like, "Oh, so and so misses seeing you. He's so happy to see you right now," and because they obviously haven't seen me since March 13th. So
Right.
she's like, "Oh, he's really happy to see you. He's saying hi right now." Because I basically did myself as a scientist. So I had my goggles and a white coat and making all the
Professor Nefario.
yeah. It was fun. And I'm trying to think of other ones to do now. So we'll have to see what comes up next. Oh, now I remember what I did on Tuesday. Muggle science experiments with Professor Sybil Trelawney.
And did things blow up? Did you put little like Mentos and Coke
Well,
and
she added not peroxide. She added baking soda and vinegar together, and it just kind of went over
ooh.
her cauldron. And then we're going to do that every 2 weeks. So there'll be science experiments every 2 weeks. So the next one won't be this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. And she's going to show you how to make your very own lava lamp using water and oil and an Alka-Seltzer tablet. And probably some people have seen that on Facebook already. And then she wants to show you how to create your own color bottles. And this is used with water and oil and food coloring. So that's
All right, good. I need to watch these. I definitely have to because I've been asked to do a Snape one time and I've got to teach potions class. I know nothing about potions.
Well,
So
if you
watching your
want to, we can do like a live feed for that one together. And I could just message you all the supplies and we can do it either through here or we could do it through Instagram because I know Instagram you can have 2 people on live at the same time. So if you want to do that, we could do that.
we'll definitely talk.
And then we can get together. Because
I noticed that your children also like to get involved, right?
Pardon?
I noticed that your daughter and children like to get involved because at Christmas time I saw you as Elsa and your daughter was Anna. It was quite adorable.
Yeah, they actually helped. We had Spider Gwen doing a morning workout a few Mondays ago, and the 2 of them were doing the workout with Spider Gwen.
That's cool.
It was cool. Yeah, I'm thinking we might do another workout probably in the next few weeks because we haven't done a workout, so we're gonna do more of like a core workout. I just don't know which character to do yet because there's certain things you don't want to see when you're in costume.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
we've run into
Spider Gwen back out for another workout because that outfit's safe. My son the other day, who was I dressed up as? I think I might have been Princess Leia, and he's sitting in my lap, and he's like, "I see your boo boobs." My husband comes running from where he was. He goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Honey, no." And I'm wearing Princess Leia. You can't see nothing.
Oopsie. Yeah, George Lucas said there was no underwear in space.
Yeah. He's a character, that one. Even my oldest, he's just as a funny character as well. I like to cosplay Mavis Dracula. I've done a story time as her as well over the last few weeks. And whenever I'm Mavis, I usually have this really big pink sun hat. And I don't remember why, but I had the hat in my car. And I went over to my parents because he's been staying there to do all his schooling because internet connection's better and it's quieter and they have a better working computer because our computer right now, I can only get on Facebook and YouTube and that's about it. It won't let me go on anything else. Don't know why. So he's been staying there. So when we come over, he always goes into the car looking for gum or whatever. It's like, dude, stay out of the van. You don't need to be in there. So he grabs my hat and starts running around with it. I'm like, that's my hat. Go put it back in the car. No, it's mine. So every time we go over there now, he's like, where's my hat? It's not your hat. Where's my hat? It's my Mavis Dracula hat. It's not for you. But yeah, the
If
kids
he
love
wants
it just
gum,
as much as I do. Devin wants me to
wants
make
gum,
him an
tell him to check
eye
underneath seats and
costume.
stuff like get back in school. He'll be fine. You know about
Because
that.
even Danica, she's done a lot of photo shoots with the group of us before. We did a broken doll shoot a few years ago, and she was a broken doll as well. And she was with my friend Quinn and Jen. And I think Jen is Susie Q cosplay, and Quinn, I think, is Quinn Adams cosplay. I might be wrong about Quinn's, but we get together with Danica and stuff, and we do photos together, and it worked out really, really great. Danica had such a blast, and she's had too much fun. She loves hanging out with everybody. If I tell her we're going to go see them, she's like, I want to come right away. No question about it. I want to come. But I
That's
kind of
pretty
like
cool because
everything,
her
right?
mom gets to dress up like cool characters, right? And her mom's got cool friends.
Yeah. Danica actually won that year. I sang when you were hosting. My daughter won second prize as Huntress, remember? And you made a comment because I told her, stop at the judges, and she just kept going. And you were like, oh, I guess she doesn't want to stop.
I don't know what I say half the time. It's just like it's just improv. I just go with it, you know. Someone wants to run
Well,
by,
yeah,
sure.
she was so funny. I think she was just super nervous about it, and she just kept going.
The huntress, she's got a crime to solve, you know. Go beat some bad guys. Off to work.
She's actually
Awesome.
grown up. That need to make her a new black suit to wear, so then she could wear it again. Because the cape's still a good length, and then I have to make a new mask piece because I don't know what happened there.
What's your most requested character?
The Snow Queen's usually the most requested. Other
Some
than
people
Spider-Man.
might call her
We also offer
Elsa,
Spider-Man.
right? You do Spider-Man?
Well, I don't do it specifically, but I do have a friend that does Spider-Man.
Geoff?
Pardon?
Geoff? Jeff?
No.
Okay.
But I do work with London Batman. Him and I have done a few things together.
You obviously as either Catwoman or Batgirl.
Yeah. Well, the last 2 years we've done this mall family Comic-Con thing, and the lady who puts it on, she always wants me to be a princess character, and I'm like, I want to do something that attaches to what you're doing. He goes, she wants you to be a princess. She thinks you're awesome as a princess. She doesn't want anyone else to be a princess. She wants you to be a princess.
Was that the mall thing that happened earlier this year before the
Yeah.
COVID thing?
Yeah, you showed up for that for a little bit.
Yeah,
it was
I want to see
fun.
what's happening.
Yeah. Last year when I did it, I was Ariel in my walking tail, and the walking tail is basically a pin skirt, and there's a small opening in the back to walk around with, and I have like little fish wiring that attach to little bracelets, and I walk around, I shimmy around. And whenever a kid wants a picture, I always sat down so that they could sit down and get the full scape of the tail and everything for the photo. So I guess at one end of the mall, they were waiting for me because they wanted to do a group photo because they had, I can't remember what Eric's gaming business is because they had all the gaming stuff on the far end. And all of a sudden, Batman comes walking down. He goes, are you coming? Are you coming, Ariel? I'm like, yeah. I'm coming. I swear. Well, after he leaves, I stop for like 10 pictures. And I guess everyone at the other end's like, you should have just picked her up and brought her here, Batman. And I'm
right.
like, yeah, right. For him to drop me. That's like one of my biggest fears when people pick me up when I'm a mermaid is that someone's going to drop me.
You know, you could get a wheelchair or something, just so you can, whenever you're Ariel, people can push you
For
around.
birthday parties, we usually use a wagon. I lower the back seats in my van and we throw a wagon in there, and then the wagon gets pulled into the party if I'm a walking tail mermaid. I've done that a few times, 2 years in a row at the Shirt Complex in Essex. I don't think it's called the Shirt Complex anymore. Maybe my dad was saying that it might have changed. I'd have to look that up. But we've done a lot of parties where Ariel has showed up for the swimming time at the pool. And then Ariel has to go to Seacliff Park to the beach to see her dad to give her legs. And then she shows up at the party with her legs and does activities at the actual party half. So I've done that a few times, and then we've done some outdoor pool parties, and it's lots of fun. I love being a mermaid. It's so much fun.
No
Especially when I'm with
doubt.
the hippie.
Is that your favorite character to do?
Ariel and Elsa are probably my favorites, but I do like Anna because Anna's more of like my high school self, being all uppity and all cuckoo and crazy and having fun and freckle face, because I have lots of freckles, especially if I get a lot of sun. I'm like freckled up, shoulders, everything. So for me, it's fun. And I love how now in the second movie, Elsa actually has more freckles because now she's not staying in her room and she's exploring. She's outside in Arendelle and walking the streets and spending time with her people. So now she has more freckles. So that's the only problem with being Elsa now, is that I always forget to put the freckles on because I forgot yesterday, but today I remembered. So it's the one thing I forget now because it's not something that was part of my routine before, but because now she has them, I have to try to remember, because I have this routine down to being done in 30 minutes. I can get it all done in 30 minutes. Makeup, glitter, everything. I'm done in 30 minutes. So, and then I just get the outfit on and head out the door.
Oh, cool. I've seen you at CK Expo when you were providing entertainment for the children, which is
Mm-hmm.
similar to what you do with your business, correct?
Yep.
And you had me there reading for kids as well, and yet
Yeah.
only like two little boys were watching. As I'm sitting there, Screw, trying to read stories about cats, which I did not like, and the only two people are there. It's like, do I keep on reading or do I just like distract them and like throw something away? It's like really bad. I know, take out my fart gun, distract the kid, and like
Yeah,
it's
we
like
were gonna
awkward
actually plan them in the schedule this year for any story times and stuff, but we're gonna have to wait till next year.
for sure. Oh, and as grew, I kind of went to Universal and like I got my own little doggy.
Oh, he's so cute!
He is. He bites a
It
lot,
is
so
adorable.
there you go. Hold on,
Well, I do
let's.
want to do your youngest daughter, and I've been trying to find the unicorn, but I don't want a small one. I want a big one. So it looks, because in the movie, it's basically her size. So I want the same thing.
Oh no, I've seen one in Thunder Bay when I went over there. The lady that sponsored me to have me go up there, I went to her store as Gru, and they had a huge unicorn.
Ooh.
So next time I'll let you know, because when I went to Universal, I could have gotten one, but I didn't know you were looking for one.
Yeah, I figured that would just amp up the outfit.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
I love doing that. Like having the little character friends and stuff is the best way to add that extra little touch. When I first started doing parties, at least my first month, because we had 4 or 5 parties our first month after I started posting that we were doing it. And the first 2 parties, everyone was like, "Where's Olaf? Where's Olaf? Where's Olaf?" So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to stop by Cartoon Kingdom, my favorite go-to place for stuffies, and see if they have any. Well, at that time, because of how popular Frozen was, they had a waiting list for Frozen items. And I said to them, I said, "Do you have anything left?" Hi, Alex. And she goes, "We have 10 small sized Olafs and 1 large one." I still have that larger one today, and I bring him to parties still. So once I started bringing him to parties, the kids just thought it was the best thing ever to have Olaf there. Even when we had, I think it was My second year, we purchased an actual mascot for Olaf, but it was a child size. So he wasn't huge and menacing. And my son David wore it. He was 10 at the time. And he loved being Olaf. He would even take Olaf's head off his body. And the kids would be like, "Where's Olaf's head? Why, Olaf, what are you doing?" And sometimes he'd put his whole body inside and let the head roll off the body, and we'd have to put it back on. And the kids just thought that was the best thing ever. There was a little boy named Jacob that we used to do a lot of things for. Olaf, when we knew he was in the hospital, Olaf would send like little videos of story time videos for him so that his grandma could put it on his his tablet so he could watch whenever he wanted. And he had so much fun being Olaf, but you know, as things happen, he grew out of it. So we haven't had Olaf for a few years now.
Well, speaking of little mascots,
I know,
we
those are
have this.
super cute.
Okay, it's the green screen with the blue. That's why it looks like you can see through them. This was this was made for me by some guy who he does Daleks, and he's had two children, and he made these minion outfits for them, and they wore them. But sadly, they've outgrown it, so he's given it to me. I can't fit in it. One time, I brought it to an event as Grew, and I had little kids dress up in it. But other than that, they're not really doing much. If I hire someone that's really small, that's they can hang out with me. Unless you know
Well,
people
you
that
know
might.
that we're around. If Danica wants to do it, she'll help you.
I'll remember that. So next time I come down as
Because she's
Gru, I'll just bring
now,
this.
so she'll probably be able to fit in that.
Yeah, so I better do it soon before she grows out of it, right?
Well, Devin's only 6.
Perfect, perfect. Just get them like, blue overalls and yellow sweater, and we're all good.
Yeah. I actually have like a human version of the minion suit just so that when we have our minion out, we have someone with them. Because sometimes those
Perfect.
suits are hard to see in. It's better to be safe than sorry. So we've created like a lot of little characters that kind of coincide with our characters. So for our rescue pups, we have like a rescuer that wears a red vest and has a paw patch on it, and they come out and they help out. And for Spider-Man, we always have MJ. She comes and helps Spider-Man because sometimes visibility
Right.
is poor, especially in the wintertime because you're coming in from cold to hot. The lenses fog up as soon as you walk in. It doesn't matter what you do or what solution you put on the lenses, they fog up right away. And so it's always good to have that assistant. So we do a lot of that. And I actually made all my Mary Jane tops myself. So I wear it all the
Well,
time.
Mary Jane's easy to do, right? Just get red
Yep.
hair and you wear like some sort of Spider-Man shirt.
Well,
That's pretty
actually,
cool.
there's a comic, there's an MJ comic where she actually wears a white t-shirt and it has a heart-shaped Spider-Man face, and that's what I put on my top. In
Fair
the
enough.
comic, she wears a crop top, but I don't. I wear a full top.
Yeah, I have a lazy outfit too when I do Doctor Evil. It's my like prison outfit. Just put on a shirt, and pants, and it's all cool. Just put on the scarf. This one is more difficult, so I decided not to put the makeup on, just the scarf today. Just
Yeah,
go
I
with the
have one
theme.
like that for Elsa too. I have her Wreck-It Ralph outfit. So
Is
I
she
wear that.
Ralph?
I wore that for Fan Expo last year. So it's just like a nice long sleeve shirt. It says "Let It Go" with some snowflakes, and then it's a black pair of shimmery capris. And then she wears some black flats. I couldn't find my black flats when we went to the con, so I wore some of my icicle flats that I've made, and I wore that instead.
You're also the girl from Tangled. You walked around with a frying pan, a little lizard as well.
Yep. And that frying pan, oh my goodness. The story for that frying pan is rather funny because we were at Fan Expo and I'm trying to remember who I was at that time. I think it was the first day. It was the second day. Who was I dressed as the second day? I can't exactly remember, but we're walking around the main area where all the vendor booths are. And we walk around the corner, and all of a sudden, Kathleen goes, "Sylvia, look." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Look, a Wonder Woman sword." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. I need one of those." And then she goes, "Oh my God." I said, "What?" "Look, And I'm like, ah, it's a frying pan. And it's an EVA foam frying pan, and it looks real. I actually had someone who works with whatever metal the frying pan is made of. I had him, he thought it was a real frying pan. And this was at the Uncommon Festival. I was a steampunk version of Rapunzel for that event. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I love your frying pan, but man, it looks like it's been through the mill and back." And I said, "It's not real." He goes, "You're kidding." I said, "No, I'm not kidding. Do you want to see it?" He goes, "Okay." And he's like looking at it and stuff. He goes, "Man, I work with this type of material. If it fooled me, I bet you it fools everybody."
Right?
Because even you
That's
thought
pretty
it
cool.
was real.
I did. Walking around with a real frying pan until you clunked me on the head with it, and I realized, oh, glad it's not.
Actually, that day was super cute. When did I? Just after I saw you, I ran into a father and his daughter, and the daughter was just did not want to leave my side as Rapunzel, and it was super cute. I went to go sit down to have something to eat, and she came to sit down next to me, and I said, "Would you like some?" And she sat and she had her drink and she ate grapes and snacks with me as we sat on the side. And the dad's like, "You don't have to do that." I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. She's probably about the same age as my daughter. Is she like 6?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "Yeah, it's okay. I deal with this all the time." But he got some super cute pictures of the two of us together and he sent them to me. It was really sweet. And then I had a cupcake
I like
from
how
my mother.
I love how you
And
stay in character when you meet little kids. It's
yeah, I
fantastic.
never break character. Never, never, never. So I had this cupcake and she's like, "Can I have some?" I'm like, "Well, no, it's mine." So the dad had to go over and get her one. And the funny thing was is she was so super close to me that little did I know she got some of her icing on my arm of my costume. And as I'm waiting in line to meet Flynn Rider, the actor, the voice actor, Zac Efron, I think his name is.
Right?
I'm probably saying it wrong.
Zach,
And
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my God." One of the ladies are like, "You realize you have icing on you?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I have anything to clean that up." And I started panicking a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to look bad when I go in to see him. And eventually someone's like, "Oh, here, you can use this." I'm like, so I wiped myself off as best as I could. Thank goodness it wasn't anything else like any other colors because there's so many colorful icings of on all the cupcakes, and the dad had got a
Right?
white one. So I was like, thank God, because it would have been awful to have blue marks on my arm. And it was so awesome to meet him dressed up as Rapunzel. There were actually 2 girls ahead of me dressed as Rapunzel, and they took photos with him. He didn't really say much, but as soon as I came over, he goes, "I love that outfit." And I'm like, I was so happy. And I actually went and got a signature from him as well. And when we first got there to pick pictures and stuff, his booking agent goes, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you came by." And I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "I really wanted to talk to you. You look so awesome. And I was really hoping to see your frying pan." And I said, "Oh, here you go." And she goes, "This isn't, I thought this was real. Are you kidding?" I'm like, "No, it's just, we found it here at the con." And she goes, "This is super cool. I'm so happy you came to see him. He's just going to love this frying pan." And I'm like, "Okay." And everyone afterwards, like, "Why didn't you have him sign your frying pan?" And I'm like, "I didn't want to ruin it with a signature."
Right? I'm scribble all over your cool frying pan? No
I
way.
know. And it was just, it's such a super cool story because the days before I got the frying pan, I end up days after I meet Flynn Rider and I talk to Flynn, and his booking agent thinks it's so awesome and she's so happy that I came over to say hi to him and stuff. And it was super cool.
Nice. Um, did you have a lot of you have a lot of plans and bookings after this is done, this big crisis?
So far, most parents really haven't been booking much other than our character walk-ups. So we've been doing a lot of those. The long weekend, we had 4 character walk-ups. I have a
What's a
character
character
walk.
walk up?
Yeah, it's basically a social distancing 5-minute visit. So basically, the character comes, walks to the house with their theme music playing, and if they talk, they'll say hello, wish them a happy birthday. Sometimes they aren't even for birthday. Sometimes they're just for fun. And then we dance to a song together or sing a song together, and we do some social distancing pictures. Sometimes we get a little bit close, but we aren't like on top of each other like a normal picture would be. The kids would be holding my hand and holding my side or what have you. But for these, we don't tend to get very close. We might come a little bit closer for the picture, but then we back off again and move over and get back to dancing or singing or whatever we're doing. And it's just lots of fun. The kids are loving it. Tomorrow, Anna will be ninjaing a family for their kid's birthday. So we've made plans with the mom to I'm going to message her before I leave here so that so that she can pretend that they've caught her. So it's going to be super cute. I hope it'll be super cute. And they're lots of fun. I have like 3 booked for next month.
Wow.
There's 2 families that still want to do their parties next month, so we'll see what happens. I told the one mom that I'm going to wait till June 1st to see what type of restrictions are still in place because she still would like to have the minion to her son's birthday. So we're going to have that party. And then at the end of the month, we have our 4 princess parties. So let's hope we don't have any more cases and stuff so that we can do that because the mom doesn't really want to do a virtual party. But I have given her that option because all of us can do a Zoom chat and have all the kids be able to see their characters and stuff like that. So
Oh, that's kind of cute.
that's what we have to do, we can do that. I've actually been doing a lot of Zoom videos and stuff with some of my friends as well. We've been doing trivia nights on Saturdays.
Ooh.
And they've always been themed. So we've done Disney, we've done Star Wars, and each time we all dress up. The only one, and we kind of dressed up we had a movie trivia. So it was like movie from all over. And so a lot of us dressed up as different things for that. And then this week, actually, I hosted Marvel trivia last weekend, and I was MJ for that. And that was loads of fun. Everyone's like, how long are we going to do this for? I'm like, what time is it? Because I don't see any time on here. It was like going on to 10 o'clock. And it's like, okay, we'll do this round, and then we'll go to the final round. But it's been super fun to do like these social distancing visits. Tonight we actually have Disney villain trivia, and we're all dressing up as Disney villains. So
What time?
I've been requested by one of them that I have to be Cruella DeVille, so I will be Cruella for that one tonight. After I'm Alice, after I'm Elsa. So I'll be 3 characters today.
Wow, you got a busy day even for this COVID. And what time are you reading your story today?
It's at 6:30 tonight.
6:30 tonight as Alice, is it?
Yeah.
And we can see it here on Facebook.
Actually, one of my last videos, I actually had someone say that they were from England, and my accent was really good.
Well, congrats.
And I was like, yay! Because I try my best to be whichever character I am, right? Like if I'm Ariel, it's like, hello there, I'm Ariel. What's your name? I try my best to put on the voice and everything when I'm that character. So
I have run kids parties for 30 years, and we have lots of them are booking again for late birthday bashes. Some bachelor parties and rebooked for next year. Game of Thrones theme would be cool.
That's cool.
Game of Thrones themed birthday party?
Yeah,
like what? You can have like
do kids party.
The red party?
So, yeah, we typically do kids parties. I've been debating because some people like Riverdale so much. I do have a Vixen Riverdale cheerleader costume, so I was debating maybe adding that to our list. But we have so many characters. We have Star Wars, Harry Potter, princesses, fairy tale, Monster High,
Superheroes.
Villains, superheroes, and we've got both type of superheroes. We've got DC, Marvel, and we do have our own original superhero, Lightning Girl, that we send out sometimes for things. And then we have our original unicorn princesses. So there's just a lot. And I have original
I've
fairies
got this.
too. So
I've got this crazy thing in my head. Jamie talked about having a Game of Thrones themed kids party. Like, are they just gonna like stab each other and then the red wedding comes along, or the like, ah, it's gonna end
yeah,
on a big
I don't
bang.
know. Well, we were offering zombie parties because zombies are like super
Zombies.
big, and we were offering that for a little while, but nobody really booked them, so I just kind of like did away with them because it was all about doing zombie makeup and pretending that there was a zombie outside and teaching them some what's the word for it? Teaching them some like safety skills for like outdoor safety skills. If you get hurt, what should you do? Different things like that. And then we deal with the zombie and do zombie practice, like shooting like a Nerf gun. And it was like a whole thing that we had planned out because when I plan out parties, I plan out a whole bunch of activities and things like that.
Wow.
Like even with our ice themed, snow themed parties with the Snow Sisters. We can do hide and find Olaf, and basically it's a story that's attached to the game. And while we're reading the story, the parents will hide Olaf while we're reading, and then the kids have to go find him to give him a hug. And then we usually play a few rounds of that, and the kids really love that because after the first round, the birthday girl or birthday boy gets to hide Olaf, and then the next child gets to hide Olaf, and we play a few rounds until they kind of seem like they're done with it. So
Right.
it's like I love how I can tie in a story to a game because it's always really good to promote reading and let the little ones see that their favorite characters enjoy reading as well.
Good. Jamie says we do zombie laser combat. Very popular.
Well, that's
I can see
cool.
that. Wonder what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing stuff like that, but we book more with the princess and the superhero stuff, so we just kind of left it. We do face painting and different things like that, but most of the time it's just our themed parties that we do.
Oh, this is amazing. Like I didn't really know much about your business. All I know is that you were going online a lot, reading stories as characters, and like you're going above and beyond for this COVID thing. And now it kind of relates to your business, which is great. Great advertising, and also everyone has fun with it.
Oh yeah, I actually have been doing community walks in my hometown every Sunday, weather permitting. So I've done Elsa, Ariel, the Easter Bunny on Easter weekend. And then I also did Cottam too because it was the Easter Bunny. So I went through Cottam as well, walking around as the Easter Bunny. And then
What
I've
is a
also
community
done,
walk?
I just basically start walking from my house and I walk down Talbot Street to the Legion. And then I cross the street and walk down the other side of the street. And I walk down to, there's a dental office near the Essex Manor, and I turn there and I come back towards my house from there. So it probably takes me about 30 minutes. And if cars pull over to say hi, it usually takes a little bit longer because I'm saying hi to everybody in the vehicle and stuff like that. So tomorrow we're doing a community walk, weather permitting, because I don't want to get anything too dirty. Weather permitting, it'll be Princess Anna. So tomorrow will be Princess Anna, and then next weekend will be Batgirl.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up for today, but thank you very much for giving the time. And people can see you on Facebook.com at AEParties. Watch all your
Yeah,
videos, find out more about you, and book many of
yeah,
these services
absolutely.
you have there.
Hmm.
Anything you want to say for everyone out there watching?
Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope you're staying safe and washing those hands.
Perfect.
And I did
Well,
see
thanks a
someone
lot.
say that they've done a zombie Ariel. I've actually done a zombie Elsa too, but it was a long time ago.
I was wondering how the zombie aerial would be. It's just like a fish scales or something, you know?
Oh, for Elsa, I did two different versions. Like my first version was like pretty side and dead side, and then I didn't really want to ruin the outfit, but then like a year later I did it and I had a really junky Elsa outfit, so I shredded it and added blood and a whole bunch of stuff. It's actually still in my closet, but it's in a bag so it doesn't wreck anything.
Well, before we go, we got one more question from Jamie, from across the pond. A Fortnite theme for kid. Do you do Halloween spooky stuff?
We have done Halloween themed stuff because we have Monster High characters. So we have Frankie from Monster High. So it's Frankenstein's daughter. So sometimes she does spooky stuff with the kids. Usually she'll teach them a dance. So the one dance we like to teach is I Can't Get You Out of My Head because a lot of the dance moves are very doll like. So that's why we teach that one. So it's a little bit creepier. And most of our villains do a lot of the spooky Halloween stuff. So we've had Harley Quinn teach a group of ladies how to do the Thriller dance. So we do
Ooh.
fun stuff like that. That was super fun. The parents, like all the ladies, were all dressed up because it was like a party just for the moms. And it was super fun to be involved with that. The moms were just loving it. They were all dressed up and everything. It was super, super fun. And I did not break character. Talking in her accent for that whole time and creating names for all the dance moves in names that she would use, like monkey, 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 thriller, thriller, monkey, monkey, monkey. So it's like, it was really super funny. I'm surprised I didn't laugh the entire time. My
Oh,
assistant, of
cool.
course, was laughing the entire time.
That sounds cool. We're gonna wrap it up. Can I get you to just stay online in the back room? Because I want to chat with you about something
Yeah,
afterwards.
sure.
As I just say goodbye to people. All right.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot for tuning in today for chatting with Dr. Stevel. Tomorrow, actually Sunday, we're gonna have actor share Anthony DP Mann. He's done the voices for Return to Frightenstein, um, and many other things. So that'll be Sunday. Yeah, tune in for that if you want to find out more about him and audio recording and House of Frightenstein and some other project that he's working on. And that'll be all for now. So you guys take care and have a good day. I've got to find these buttons to end this thing. I need someone to actually operate this for me because it's really weird. Yes, I want to end broadcast. Okay, bye bye.